Welcome to the Strengthen Leadership Podcast. And my name is Chris Jones. I'm the pastor of Hope Community Church. And today I want to challenge you with the idea of developing your art. Change is inevitable, but growth isn't. And I want to talk about you growing as an individual, you growing as a leader, and our motivations for that. And so we're going to take a look at this and about the mindset we have to have and the way we need to define improvement and what our motivations are for it. So one of the things I like to get out right away is that growth is not easy. Growth is not something that you just wake up in the morning and automatically happens. I don't care how talented you are. Talent provides a certain amount of results, but really talented people, no matter what they're talented in, still have to determine that they're going to improve, that they're going to get better, because talent alone doesn't do it. So there's a couple mindset shifts we have to have in leadership and in our personal lives. And that's one of the main things is we have to start thinking about why we need to improve. We have to start thinking about that differently. So in Western culture, we typically link improvement to the idea of getting paid more, or improvement to getting a better job, or improvement to my life is going to get better. And so improvement comes because there's something at the end. It's not necessarily something that we do for the sake of improvement. It's if this is the result, then I'll improve. If I get paid more, then I'll improve. And I hear people say all the time, well, like, I could get better, but I'm not going to get paid anymore. Why would I do that? And the irony is we work long enough to do nothing. That's the end result of our work. We get to retire and do nothing. And so it's a little bit of a self-defeating thing when you talk about improvement, having a mindset of constant improvement. So we need to change the way we view that. We need to change the way, the reasons why we improve. And it's not just a means to an end. If I'm going to improve my ability to be a public speaker, or to start businesses, or to do whatever, be a father, it's not simply then my kids will listen better, or I'll automatically get paid more. That might not be the case. I need to change the mindset to I'm responsible for my own improvement, period. And then my improvement becomes the end result, not necessarily getting paid more, not getting more vacation, or being able to retire earlier. So we have to change our mindset that improvement is the end goal, no matter what. Improving my cognitive ability is the end goal. Improving whatever talent I have is the end goal. So one of the things I like to do is compare this idea with that of an artist. An artist never steps back and says, well, I just painted that. That's the best painting ever, and there's no improvement. No, an artist paints not simply to sell. Many artists, you don't even become famous till after they've passed away. Their art doesn't start really taking off until they're not there to enjoy it. So they have an inner motivation to improve their ability to paint or draw or to create art. They have an inner motivation that is not simply based on I'm going to be famous or I'm going to get more money. And so this is important for us to think about no matter what you do in those terms. So we have to prioritize the process of improvement. Now there's a Japanese principle called Kaizen that was popularized in the 80s by a man who wrote a book on it. And that's really two words that mean good change, or it's come to mean constant improvement over the years. And the idea is that we set aside the mentality that one day I'm going to arrive, that one day I'm just going to be the best version of myself. One day, all this is going to click together and I'm going to be the best ever. And embrace the idea that there's constant room for improvement. Now, I do want to warn some of the perfectionists in here. I know that drives you nuts, that like, oh, I always have to be improving. It feels like this weight. This isn't a burden to be heaped on us. This is a mentality and a mindset to live by. There's always something else for me to stretch towards. There's always, I can always have room for improvement. And so we're shifting our mindset into this idea of not arriving. We're prioritizing the process of improvement in our lives. And so then we have to structure for that improvement. And when we create the structure around us for improvement, it's going to include a couple things. One, it's going to include some pain. There's no way around it. If you want to improve physically, it's going to include pain. You cannot improve physically sitting on the couch. It doesn't exist. You're going to have to get up. You're going to have to walk. You're going to have to walk farther than you typically do. You're going to have to run. You're going to have to work out. You're going to have to eat less sweets and drink different things. And change of our body always equals pain. The funny thing is when we're children, we always are told like, oh, my knees hurt so bad. Oh, you're going through a growth spurt. And pain was associated with growing. Now, when we're adults, we take medication to never experience pain. And it kind of bucks up against the idea that I will put my body through physical pain in order to grow. Absolutely. We have to embrace the idea that growth and change personally does equal pain. It is difficult. So I want to challenge you in the area of physicality and in the area of thinking. Do something physically difficult. Start setting the structure in your life that forces you into doing physically difficult things. Challenge your body. Challenge your body to improve. And then in your cognitive ability, how about reading something you don't understand? Man, reading something you have to look up the words. Read something challenging. Set something in front of you that don't fully grasp and to where you have to contemplate it. Try something difficult. Just add it into your calendar. I'm going to attempt this. It's not success or failure. It's the idea that I'm going to start structuring difficult things in my life. I'm not going to wait for them to come up and by chance and just bemoan the fact that I have to do it. No, I'm going to introduce this because I want to improve. I'm going to insert myself in difficult circumstances that cause me to improve. Personal improvement is not based on chance. It's based on structure. And so we have to get this mindset. I'm okay with pain. I'm okay with difficulty. I'm okay with challenge. And I'm never going to let up. I'm always going to be pushing towards that. And so we find this Japanese concept is not the origination of this idea. All the way back in the New Testament, Jesus' time, later with the Apostle Paul, there's this idea of bringing a return, of improving on what you've been given. Jesus told the parable of the talents. And he handed three people, three different amounts of money and said, hey, the master was going away for a long time. When he came back, he expected them to improve on what they had been given. And two of them did, and one of them didn't. And the one who didn't was judged harshly over that. The story was, life is not designed for you to just sit back and not improve, not bring a return. And then we get to the Apostle Paul, and all the way to the end of his life in his letter to the church in Philippi, he writes this statement that I forget what is behind and I press on. I strain towards the mark of the high calling. And so at a time when you would think he's in prison, he's in chains, like he should be settling down a little bit. He should be thinking about hanging up the towel and retiring. No, he's telling the Philippians, I'm going to keep pressing on. I'm going to take hold of that for which Christ took hold of me. I'm not going to sit back and determine not to improve. I'm going to keep working towards what God has called me to. So in every single one of these areas, I believe we have a personal mandate to be in a constant state of improvement. It comes with fits and starts and ebbs and flows. But if our mindset is, I'm going to be a better person tomorrow than I was today, next year, I'll be better than I was this year. And at the end of my life, I'll be a different person than I was at the beginning. And the beautiful thing, if you're a Christ follower, you have the Holy Spirit in you, empowering you to do it and to empowering you to resist sin. I'm sinning less today than I was 5 years ago. I'm thinking different today than I was 5 years ago. And so the Holy Spirit in us empowers us to do that. And so I just want to challenge you this week. Create a structure around yourself that demands improvement. Put people around you that demand improvement. Put yourself in circumstances that demand improvement. And then once you get in those, don't let up. Keep that structure, keep that mentality through your whole life, and you will never regret it. And you will become all that you were supposed to become. So thanks for tuning in to Strengthen Leadership Podcast, and I'll see you next time.